So what is happening right now with price action of Bitcoin? Because if you monitor it here in a daily time frame, we can see this Williams alligator indicator is being tested as a support, because we are aware any sort of a price pullback, this Williams alligator indicator along with the moving averages, which I showed you on my yesterday video, this 20 exponential moving average here, this green line, is definitely going to be one very strong line of support, and we also want the price to hold this support at any cost. Why? Because you can see here in the past Bitcoin price action, whenever we have seen this impulsive movement playing out for Bitcoin with each and every small retracement, right, you can see the Williams alligator indicator and also the moving averages always acted as a strong line of support, and after that the trend also continued. And right now what we are witnessing is a pretty similar scenario. So if this trend still wants to continue, then we are not allowed to break below this moving averages or this Williams alligator indicator, because right now MACD is not supporting the price movement. As you can see, this is a bearish MACD cross, but still RSI is above 50 line and also the T3CCI still in a positive territory. So let's see if bulls are going to defend this support line or not, because right now around this area there are some very interesting scenario also unfolding with Bitcoin. Let me show you here. And also guys, I just want to make you aware that Phemex right now is providing around $1,200 bonus to our community member who sign up using this ref link and deposit at least 1 Bitcoin. This $1,200 bonus will be credited within 24 hours after your initial deposit. So what you can do after this $1,200 bonus is credited, leave your initial deposit on the side and just trade with this $1,200 free money provided by Phemex. This is a great opportunity, so definitely try grabbing it. So now let's switch into another chart. So you can see guys, yesterday we did talk about this rising wedge scenario playing out for Bitcoin, because we were aware the support line here was already broken, right? And price was also trying to re-enter the rising wedge, and we were aware if we are going to see a rejection from this lower line area of this rising wedge, which previously acted as a strong line of support, right, then we are aware the price of Bitcoin could see this potential downward price movement, and this is exactly what we are witnessing right now as well. But the question here is where we might be heading if this trend is going to continue to the downside, because if this does continues here to the downside, our eyes are around this rising channel, because this rising channel, the lower line, is where we might be getting gravitated, and we have talked about this scenario plenty of time in our video, because we are aware the lower line here has always been a strong line of support, and after that you can see the price also has seen some really nice price movement. So that's why if we do see this pullback around this lower line area of this rising channel, we should be also fine, and we have said plenty of time, because this is still a higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern, and we should not forget that. And not just only that guys, right now as you can see clearly that price of Bitcoin is also finding some sort of a support around this area. Let me show you why. So this here is also in a 4-hour time frame. If you monitor the price movement right now for Bitcoin, look at this guys, the price here is clearly flashing this one very interesting scenario, which is known as broadening wedge. Because if you look at this ascending broadening wedge, you can see very clearly the price here now actually looks like it should see some impulsive movement playing out. Why? Because this lower line here in the past Bitcoin price action was a strong line of support, and after that we saw this price movement here to the upside here as well, right? Because the upper line was a strong line of resistance. So if this broadening wedge scenario is going to play out, then we also want the price of Bitcoin to break out of this small line of resistance for now. That is right now lying somewhere around here, because if we look at this price structure clearly guys, inside this bigger ascending broadening wedge, we also have this smaller descending channel playing out. So that's why what we want right now is price of Bitcoin to clearly break out of this descending channel, because this descending channel upper line is lying around 46,000. So that's why what we want right now is the price of Bitcoin to break out of this lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern here in a 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin, because this descending channel line must be broken if the trend here wants to see any sort of a impulsive price movement. Because in the past Bitcoin price action, you can see finding support at this lower line area of this ascending broadening wedge that actually created higher highs, higher lows, right? Higher highs, higher lows. This is still a higher lows if you look at this as a ascending broadening wedge. So if this is going to be another breakout, right, then we are aware that could also bring the price of Bitcoin around this 48 to 49,000 price range. So let's see how these scenarios are going to play out, because if you look at this right now with very simple way using Fibonacci extension line. So now if we look at this price action using this Fibonacci extension line, we can see very clearly that this 0.786 is a very strong line of resistance, and right now where we are finding support is this 0.5 Fibonacci extension line that is lying around $44,188. So the question here is, how is the price of Bitcoin going to react around this area? Because I just showed you with this many different examples that around this lower line area with this ascending broadening wedge also, right, we do have some strong line of support lying around this area. So if this trend does want to continue to the upside, the 0.618 resistance line along with this lower highs lower low continuation pattern within this descending channel must also be broken, because we clearly want the price here to break this lower highs lower low continuation pattern and head towards this 0.786, which is lying around 48,000, and our personal price target of 100% Fibonacci extension line that's lying around 50,932 or 51,000 price range. So let's see how this whole scenario is going to play out. But one thing is definitely sure, that around this area right now, this 44 to 45,000, we do have some strong support lying for Bitcoin. So these are some of the scenarios I thought sharing with you in today's episode. If you enjoyed my work, then please hit the like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye guys.